Hi, welcome to Vhannah's Corner, guys. Today I have,
Zariah.
My name's Amari.
and today we're gonna talk about male friendships versus female friendships. I just feel like y'all know, anybody that knows me from what I write in my blogs, I always love a good friendships topic or a good relationships topic. And I just feel like I wanna get into this. So, do you guys feel like there's much of a difference between male and female friendships?
Well, when it comes to male and female friendship, I feel like at the end of the day, like a lot of friendships is like you develop a lot of your friendships through like experience, but like I know the conversations us male have with our friends is different from the conversation you girls have. That's what I know.
That is true. I feel like it definitely is a little bit of a shift.
I think there's definitely a difference. Like,
Okay.
even when I see, like, men interact, it's kind of like they don't really be talking about nothing and they be feeling like they're talking about everything. It's so funny because it's like they be so fulfilled with, like, chilling and doing nothing. Like,
Yeah.
not really getting into the drama, like how we get into the drama. Like, it's always.
We definitely be like, what's tea?
Yeah,
I feel
like, especially like catching up, like it's just kind of like they be okay with whatever, like whatever you
Yeah.
want to tell me. Like, it's so crazy because my male friends, like, I'll be like they'll tell me like something's happening and I'll be like, so you didn't ask about this, that, and the third, and they be like, that's not my business. Like, why am I asking who these questions? Like, and I'm like, really? Like, this is natural to be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, why did you do that? When
Mhm.
did you start talking to this person? It's just
That's
like
true.
they don't ask too many questions.
Yeah.
They just let it flow. Like, they're just cool with like.
The regular,
Yeah,
like,
just,
the
like, chilling,
the
like,
basic
literally,
conversation. I don't know. I think us women can't help ourselves to just be inherently nosy sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking on myself, I just feel like I be nosy to a certain extent, but I just feel like I want to know about your life. I want to know what's going on with the family. I want to know what's going on with the boyfriend, the guy you talking to, the girl that you talking to, whatever the case is. I just feel we don't discriminate over here. So I just feel like I want to know everything, and I just can't help but be nosy. And I feel like, yeah, y'all really just be chilling. Y'all randomly, I used to see this like entrance and stuff, even being at work, just seeing males interact. Like, out of nowhere, they'll just be like, yeah, did you see that game? Oh my God, that was good. Like, it wouldn't be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? And I'm like, hey, how are you? What's good? It's like, no, did you see that game? Yeah, the Giants lost. It was great. Like, and then y'all just getting mad hype. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's interesting seeing the male interaction, compared to, I don't know, us females. I just.
And I think we just naturally share more. Like, men
Yeah.
are. And it's just kind of like, I don't know if it's like just how men are brought up to the point where it's like it affects how they interact with one another. So it's like they kind of like, I think it's also like they kind of get each other. It's like maybe them not wanting to be emotional or vulnerable is like that's why they interact the way they do with each other.
That's
because
true.
they have a similar upbringing, and probably like same thing with women. Like, we're taught to express how we feel. It's okay to go through the motions, stuff like that. So it's like it could be that playing a part too, but you definitely see the difference between the two.
That is true because I feel like when as a male, like sometimes you're deemed to society like just to keep it calm. Like we just learn to like grow up to be brief. Like everything is brief. Like sometimes I feel like as you get older, you stop caring about what people think anyway. But like how the saying is like men are not supposed to cry or whatever. So I feel like a guy that talks too much, and as you get older, and especially when you're younger and you're like in the adolescent stage, like you just always learn to keep it brief. And like even to the point where you're talking to your male friends when you want to have the conversations, whenever we do open up, those conversations do be serious. Or it's like, you know what? I even know you think like that, bro. Because at the end of the day, we keep it brief. Because a lot of males, we grow up on some like patch it back, keep it going.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you never break out that habit of just like not following what the norm tells you, like you'll never be able to express yourself.
Gotcha.
And that's why it sometimes come off like what you guys say, like you guys don't really be talking about nothing. It's true. Like, even when you talk, like I give a dynamic. Like, alright, let's say I know I have different conversations with like my quote unquote hood friends. Like they're very brief. Right? But like my friends that are not hood male, I'm talking about, they're a little bit more open. They'll talk to you because I feel like a lot of people in the hood, they just didn't escape that norm of like keep it brief. Like nobody really cared, nobody really cared to hear what you say. But you can have so many good conversations when you talk to a man, even a girl who's able to express themselves.
Yeah. If that emotion thing sometimes tends to be our downfall, because we are too wrapped up in our emotions. I think, not that we hold a grudge, but speaking on myself, I feel like if something happens and I'm emotionally wrecked from it, I don't want to talk to you again. I feel like dudes, I think y'all sometimes could just be like, all right, you know, we tight, all right, we talk about it. It's kind of like a brief conversation, and then it's like, all right, we good. Back like nothing never happened. And I was like, okay, wasn't you just not talking to him? And now y'all okay? Like, do you guys think that that has an effect on, maybe emotion has effect on the length of the friendship?
I think it's just a little. It's kind of hard to explain. Like, I've seen that male friendships do stand the test of time more than often, and I feel like emotion plays a big part of that. But I think it lasts longer because they don't talk about their issues. A lot of the times that I see my male friends interact, and like I know one has a problem with another, they'll just be like, you know what, like, let's say with a female, for example, 9 times out of 10, like, if male friends like mess with the same girl, there's always a certain girl that is off limits for them. So, and vice versa. So it's like if you mess with that one girl, like, they don't even be liking to really like come at that person. It's just like, you know what, like, what we beefing over a girl for? And then kind of like, sometimes depending on the person, like, they'll suppress it and just be like, whatever, like, go through the motion. And there's other people that be like, nah, like, that's the deal breaker. But for the most part, I feel like men don't, like, if they feel a certain way, like, they'll kind of cool themselves off of that person for a little bit, and then they bounce back. So I feel like even though, like, women go through those motions because we're more emotional, or we choose to be more emotional, it's like men are not confronting their issues either. So it's like y'all have a friendship based off of not talking and not getting to,
that's
you know,
a good point.
Like actually addressing issues that y'all actually have with each other. It's just kind of like y'all link up, y'all cool, but you still have a issue with this person, but you're not addressing that. And I guess it works for them, but me personally, I can't.
I can't either.
I can't do it. Like, I have to say how I feel.
You have to talk about it.
Yeah, like at a certain point. Like there's certain people, like I pick and choose like when I really want to talk to them, but at the same time, like, I feel like a lot of times with men, like, y'all are very dismissive. Y'all are very dismissive. I've seen that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Marv, you got anything to say about that?
That's very true. Because like I said, it goes back to like just how we're brought up. And like I said, if you never break it, you're always just going to be, like you said, dismissive. For me, I'm somebody, like, I was fortunate enough to grow up around a bunch of girls because I was like, my father and my mother never lived together. So it was just like I grew up around a lot of my aunts. So I was always around that, I want to say emotional energy, but like I feel like as a guy you should have a balance of being around girls and boys. I feel like a lot of guys just want to be around guys all the time because they're comfortable. A lot of people don't like being in uncomfortable situations. But being in uncomfortable situations, as a guy who's chill like me, talking to a girl who I would say a lot of girls I hang out with is animated. They have a lot of energy. Compared to me, like they just really outgoing. I'm a little chill, laid back, and sometimes I need that animation
to balance it.
Just to give me a little bit more spice. You know, I need to go off your energy.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like at the end of the day, like emotion does plays a part because the guys have a habit of just keeping it brief, and like that's why a lot of my friendships now, guys in general, in the beginning I want to talk deep with you, but I need to get to know you. If I'm going to have you around, I don't like bringing everybody around. So I feel like I got to know you on like a spiritual level as a guy if you're my friend. You know what I'm saying? Cause I feel like that's how I should keep the energy around. We should be able to talk about stuff. You don't got to talk all the time. There's sometimes I'm not going to want to tell you everything. But knowing the society we in, sometimes we don't have people to talk to. And it's good to have people your age where you could talk and have that emotional connection with, guy or girl. I feel like that could help with a lot of things mentally. It can help you be a better, like, communicate better.
That's
and I
true.
feel like you learn that through having friends.
I don't think so too, but I feel like that makes me think of something else with what do you feel like your past traumas in friendship, do you feel like those affect your future and what you see with friendships? So I had to learn this recently. I didn't even realize that in one of my friendships, I didn't realize I was really carrying things from the past. I think past hurt that I had, that I wouldn't move a certain way with this friend I had because I feel like I don't want to repeat history again. So it's kind of like, okay, I know that you're gonna do this, and I feel like I was used to this in the past friendship, and it ended up bad. So now I'm gonna just kind of act like it never happened. I'm just gonna ignore it. So I feel like, do you think those past traumas then end up affecting your future friendships, or do you guys try to not let like none of that stuff? You try to go new slate. This is a new person. Anything that somebody's did me wrong, I'm not gonna move forward and think about that in my next friendship. I'm gonna try to be a clean slate and an open book with whoever comes in next.
I would say I kind of have that mindset more so with like relationships,
Okay.
like intimate relationships, like past traumas with that. So I could say that applies. I think with friendships, I kind of take the person for what they are. Like I think like maybe from past traumas in friendships, like I think avoiding that, like if I see signs for certain things, it's kind of like either nipping it in the bud or like, you know, just peeping it and like just making sure I don't get too far. But it also depends on how close that person becomes to me too. Because if this is a person that I see like being like a longevity friend, then it's like that's something that like I will have to either readjust or that will have to be a conversation that will have to be had. But it's like, I don't know. I don't think I've blatantly been like, you know what, like I'm traumatized. I don't think I've ever really been traumatized from a friendship for real. I think I've had a couple friendships that were like definitely like made me feel like like I don't know why it got to this point. It's a lot of weirdness that I feel like happened a lot of the time. A lot of weird energy, just shifting of energy, just not communicating. I think that I don't want from my future friendships or the friendships that I have now. I think just being an adult and learning communication. I think in this era where we're young adults is like communication is all we have.
It's a key.
And it's like people don't like to communicate. They like to yell communication, but don't want to communicate. And I think that's my main issue. Is just, you know, if you jacking something, if you're just gonna say like whatever you like that you're this person, like be that person. Don't be the opposite of what you're saying. I think that's just my issue. I don't think I look at friendships in that way.
Gotcha.
That's very true. Go back to what Zariah said. Like it's more like you just pick up on signs. Since like you said, like that trauma in the past friendship, that's something, a form of experience. So through experience, you learn to be very observant with people. And I'm somebody like many could agree. Like I'm very observant. Like I'm already chilled. I'm already laid back. So I feel like I like to protect my energy. So I like to observe people before I like be their friend. But I try to go about it on a way like you said, like don't let the past. 'Cause at the end of the day, I realize like I'll go into friendships and be like, you know what, I'm comfortable with my group, but I feel like the only way I'm gonna grow is if I meet more people.
That's true.
And I feel like even though me and my group could do a damage as a whole and meet people, but sometimes you gotta just do it by yourself, and you know everybody comes together. So I feel like with that mindset, I feel like the past traumas I had with friendships is like you learn to look at it like, you know what, you don't know this person, just go for the experience anyway, good or bad. Because I feel like once you're very observant and you don't let like the past trauma like of friendships, because everybody different, you know what I'm saying, and then you could really see who's really a friend like when you're down. Like let's say, you know, a lot of people, they feel like since they're your friend, you gotta be there all the time for them. Like it's all about them because I'm your friend. Like I knew you for a couple of years, but you really see who your friend is like once you're like when you're not in your mood, and like if they're gonna give you that space, like, you know what, Amari, I'm gonna give you this space, like, you know what I'm saying, like you my bro, you don't wanna, you just not, your energy not off right now, but I'm still here for you. I'm just not gonna talk to you right now. That's all about. And I feel like once you can't pass that level of meeting somebody new and that trauma, I feel like people take that, they feel like friendship is always going to be good, like it's always going to be like on point, but it don't be like that because we all go through stuff.
Exactly.
So I feel like once you have that mindset of just like you said, like don't let the past get you, and realizing once you continue to know somebody for such a long time, there's going to be ups and downs. And I'm talking about on a friendship level.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
One thing, I think with your question, I would apply it to a friendship that I already have.
Okay.
So meaning if I've been through like a certain situation with a person that I'm close to, I think that kind of affects how I move going forward, especially depending on the offense. Because if it's like we just had a weird, like, you ever had that friend that's like, it's weird, but y'all never really talk about it. It's just like y'all go through the motions, kind of like an Army and Jada type of situation.
Yeah. And then we saw how well that ended.
Right. So I think just kind of those relationships are the ones that be testing me a little bit, because it's like I don't know how to move with this person. I don't know if this person's my friend for real, and just like knowing if a person is for you or not, like, and really knowing like when to let go or what is like too much, like what's OD. But I think that is more so like if I have a trauma with anything within friendships, I think that's my issue, like how to come back from years of weirdness or months of weirdness or periods of weirdness where it's just something not clicking. Like, it's something going on. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's them. Majority of the time it's not me. But, you know, I think that's really, like...
I had to learn how to put friends in boxes. It sounds so bad to say, but it's kind of like, if I know this friend moves like this, and I know they're not going to change, or we've had a conversation and I'm not seeing no difference, you know what? We can still be friends. I'm not going to dead the friendship. We can still be friends, but I just know this is how I will move with you. And it's okay. You're that friend, that's fine. I know I have this friend for this, and I will move with that friend for this. I got a friend for a party. I got a friend that I come to for advice. I got a friend that I talk to about religion. Like, I feel like what I had to learn as an adult is that every friend is not, they don't come with the same thing.
Yeah, they're
like,
not the whole package.
And not you're getting something from everybody that you encounter with, and you're giving something to everybody that you're encountering with. So I think that's how my past trauma, if you want to call it, that's how I learned from that. How about how to deal with people in the future or people that I'm presently dealing with, just knowing that sometimes everybody's not going to have it all together. Sometimes this person may not agree with that, and that's okay. That don't mean you got to get rid of the friendship. It just means that this person is for that, and this person's for this, and that's okay. Like, so, yeah. Well, that's today. That's what we talked about, guys. We hope that you enjoyed it and you liked it. Thank you, Amari and Zawari, for coming through.
Thank you.
Per.
Been out.